What's going on, everybody? Troy Rawlings here. Thank you so much for checking out my raw uncut. Now, pre-warning, this is going to be raw uncut. This is strictly adult conversation. Sometimes my language gets a little crazy. I might say like all kinds of stuff. So this is the pre-warning to turn it off if the kids are around. But hey, it's what's today's date? We're already in August, the month of August, 2019. I don't like to date things, but I'm saying that because we just did a show in Fairfax, Virginia. And if you know anything about my comedy shows, my sex, love, relationship, raw uncut tour, taboo talk shows, I like to go all in. And I like to have time with my audience. I'm like the Tony Robbins of this thing. So your average comedy show, you may go to a comedy show that's an hour long or 90 minutes and see 3 people. But if you come to my show, I may be with my audience for 2 to 3 hours. And I've been doing it this way for years because I deal with sex, love, and relationships, raw and uncut. So this Fairfax show we had last weekend. Last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. My time was cut short dramatically, and I didn't get to, I may have done one question, but I really didn't get to that. So in the hat tonight, I have your questions, and I'm gonna go raw, uncut for as long as I can. I'm gonna still have to speed up a little bit because I know this is YouTube, and I think at the max I may have an hour, but I'm gonna try to do it in a little bit less. I'm not gonna spend as much time because it's no audience, just me and you. So I'm probably gonna take the next half an hour and rock and roll through these questions. All right, let's get started with your questions. Troy Rawlings, raw, uncut. And make sure you subscribe to this channel, my relationship comedy channel, because this is where I'll be answering your questions raw and uncut, uncensored. This is where you come. This is where you come. This is where you come, ladies. Okay. All right, sorry. That was just a prelude. Okay. Sometimes you get questions that are not really relationship questions, but then again, how do you handle bad kids? Ooh. How do I handle bad kids? How do you handle bad kids? I don't have bad kids. My daughter's amazing. But when she's being bad, I usually do the, you all right? Huh? What did I tell you to do the first time? Okay, we're not stupid, right? You know, and those kind of things just enhance things that I've already taught. We talked to, I got that from my mother, the eyes. Because I'm getting too old to be, pinching her, and she's getting too old. My daughter's almost 8. I'm pinching her or popping on her butt. I'm not going to be doing that for my daughter. If you can't do it with your eyes and stuff like that, and if your child is younger than, in my opinion, if your child is younger than first grade, I don't think you should be hardcore spanking a child that's young. But they should know the authority. If you haven't established, what happens is, these kids, you think it's cute. Oh, he's so cute. He's talking about, oh, John's so cute. Little man. Look at little woman. Look at little mama. Look at little man. Stop saying that. They're not a little man and not a little mama. They're a little person, but they are children. Treat them like a child. Don't spare the rod. Meaning, don't do your discipline the way you're supposed to. I'm not telling anybody how to take care of the kids, and I'm not saying you need to beat every child. Some children's you almost got me into a southern drawl. Some child needs their asses whipped. Starting young. Now, if your kid is like 12, 13, 14, 15, your ass may have missed the boat. However you've established, so you got to figure out some new ways to establish some things. I have a 7-year-old right now. She's a good girl. So I don't know how she'll be at 13, 14, but we'll see. I'm along for the ride. Whatever it is, Zoe, I'm with you for the ride, baby. Okay, so we got that out of there. Some questions. I just wanted to address that anyway. All right, if you could switch places with your significant other, what would be the first thing you would do? I'm throwing cards all over the place. I got to get these cards up because my daughter can actually read. So some of these cards can't be on the floor. If I could switch places with my significant other, I don't really have a significant other just yet. We're working on that. But let's say we were in that stage already. If I could switch places with my significant other, what do I do? I'd switch places back. She's brilliant. We'll keep it moving. All right. Is it safe to have your ex and your woman in the same room? Safe to have your ex and your woman in your same room. I guess according to the relationships, I don't ever think. For women, I don't know. I've heard people have some crazy relationship scenarios that happen to work for them. I know people that they're like best friends with their ex. They're married and they're really cool with their ex. And like the guy is close friends with his ex's husband now. All those scenarios, they work for some people. Some people can, if you have children, I believe you should find the best way possible to make it work. Now, if it's just some random thing, you dating different people, things like that. I've had scenarios where people I've dated or been with were in the same room and they would never know. And unless it's at my funeral and I want to be cremated, so I don't even want to deal with that. But I'm in the casket and, oh my God, how did you know? How did you know him? Oh, he was the love of my life. Oh, he was the love of my life. I'm dead now. I'm trying something different. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I'll be. I don't think it's all that great. It depends on the relationship. If they can get along, why not? If they get along and everything is good, especially if you have children, it should be a cool thing. Okay, as you can see, I'm trying something different this time. I'm trying to have my earpiece on and do this whole thing with the mic around my neck, even though I don't really need the earpieces in to do it. This is like a phone thing. So I just noticed that the microphone is really good. So we'll see how it works. But this is live. This is a live tape and a live recording, like most of my TV shows will be. Netflix, just letting you know. All right. Have you ever paid for pussy and how much? And I quote the questions. That's why I say also. This is raw and cut. So I don't. How you give it to me is how I give it back to you. Unless I'm doing a clean show somewhere and then, you know. Have you ever paid for pussy and how much? I have never paid for sex directly. Because some people are like, oh, you got to take them to dinner, you got to do this. And I've never paid for, no. I don't know. But I had a friend of mine that explained why he thought it was cool for him to pay for sex when he went out of town. And I guess it made sense. He said, you know, he goes out of town. He's on a business meeting. He's out of town only for a little bit of time. He wants an escort or somebody to be with him. And it's easy for him to pay for a girl to spend some time with him. You know, go out to dinner, and he knows he's getting some at the end of the night. And it's like, that's practical. Jacked up is practical. I don't know. I don't know how I would feel after I spent money for sex. Like, did I pay too little? Or did I get ripped off? What are the rules? Like, I'd have so many questions that the chick probably be like, you know what? Forget it. Keep your money. I'm like, wait. I just want to know, you know, what the refund policy is. What if I like come too quick, or if you come too quick? Because that's another thing. I'm not like Prince said. I'm not fucking just for kicks. I need to. That's why I need to be married and have a wife. And I'm not just doing it to get my rocks off. If I want to do that, I can just take care of myself. Okay. So no. Oh, I definitely got to get these questions. Put these questions somewhere. My daughter comes in. Daddy, what is... No, it's not. All right. What is more And that's another thing you run into at my show. So for 15 years, I've been doing the show. And I remember when I got to the point where it was just not interaction, because I love interaction. I've been doing comedy for years, but I love the interaction with the audience. So what it allows me to do is me to have fun, because a lot of times as a comic, and some comics live and die by their material. I happen to be of the improv camp, so I love the material I have, but I like to interject it where it's necessary. After years of doing comedy, or if you've been funny, quote unquote, all your life, you have times when different things you want to throw in, and something that happens spontaneously sometimes is funnier than any material I could ever have. So I like to ride waves in comedy. So that's why when you come to my shows, you're going to get different shows. So, and sometimes somebody sends a question, and I can't read that. What is more intimate? Intimate? Oh, it might say, maybe they were trying to say intimate and just said, fucking, I don't know how to spell them, but intimate. So I'll just say, they were trying to say, what is more intimate? Oral or sex? I think sex is always more intimate, especially face to face. That's my answer on that one. I don't think there's anything more intimate, more deep than to be able to be making love, having sex, fucking whatever you want to call it, with the person and you're face to face. Unless you just don't want to, when you don't want to see them, that's not intimate. You flip them over. It's some, talk to wives whose husbands have, the majority of the sex they have with their husband is like doggy style, or he's from behind. I'm like, y'all need to go to counseling. And they were looking at me, well, what do you mean? I was like, if your husband doesn't like looking at you doing sex, something's wrong. You know, men are very visual creatures. So understand this, men are very visual creatures. Now, he may get off on you down there, oh, you know, mixing on it. I told y'all, warning, this is raw and cut. You see this popping out the ear. I don't know if I need these in, the earphones. But I don't know if they feed back. Let's see. I don't know. Because I'm not listening to anything. If I can have these down here and talk. That'd be jacked up if I go the whole rest of recording and be like, you heard all that. Anyway, I'll keep them in for now. They feel like monitors right now, like I'm doing a live show. So, to me, intimate, what is more intimate is always, and don't forget, in the comment section below, you can comment. Also, since this is a YouTube link, you can email it to your friends, you can email it to people. But also, if you go to TroyRawlingsLive.com, you can always send me your questions, or just TroyRawlings@gmail.com. Send me your questions. I'll get a certain number of them. I'll do them live. If there's some real good questions, I do one-on-one live, so they'll be shorter. This video is going to be a little longer because I'm giving some love to my Fairfax folks. And if I don't finish one, this will be part 1, and I'll do a part 2. I'm going to try to knock some of these out, though. What is more intimate to me? Sex is more intimate than oral, because of just being, it's like you're being one with the person, especially if you're face to face, be it missionary, be it the woman is on top riding you, whatever positions that you can, because you can always come up with different kind of positions with a person. It's like, okay, I can see you, you know. So sex is more intimate. I'm gonna stop tossing them because I gotta. Okay. All right, this is another one. I want to mention this because this says men are not capable of taking what they dish out. Why is that? I always tell men and women, when you're dealing with questions from about the opposite sex, especially if it's something that you're, because I don't do the bad or the sexist bullshit. So when I get a question that's a little, or something that's a little venomous, I mean, there's a little bite to it, like this woman may have been dogged by men, or she's just tired of men's bullshit. I always say, put some or most in front of the men or women. Why do men say, why do some or most? Because you ain't been with every man. You ain't fuck every man. Why some or most? You ain't been with every woman. So what that does in your mind is it starts decreasing that crazy number where you're saying, why do men? Because if you say, why are men not capable of da-da-da, you'll have a place in your head, even when you're in a good relationship, that you limit your mate in the area because, oh, you're a man, so he can't do A, B, C, and D. You don't want to get into that mode. So it says, why are men not capable of taking what they dish out? Why is that? I've met women that are the same way. They're not good at you can't do the tit for tat. They're not really good. And this is another one right in that same course, might be the same person. Why do men lie so fucking much? Literally, it says, why do men lie so much? And then they put like fucking up above it. They got you like so upset. Why do men lie so fucking? I don't know. Depends where they come from. And you have a man that feels like he's not able to, or he might just be a liar. Some people just lie, just flow. That's the second nature, lie. You know, I didn't do it. I just saw you do it. Some people just lie. Men not capable. People who can't take what they dish out is because, I guess it's a lack of. It's almost like a lack of caring on the other end. You can blast it out, but when it comes back, it affects you. So, being a comedian, the comedians can tell you this. Most comedians, we come from a place where we had to do, play the dozens, rip on people, go at it. So most comedians can stand flat-footed with another person that's talking about them and go for it. But you've had people that have been, literally, I heard recently that there was a guy that was killed in a barbershop. And because he was joking a guy, and he was good at joking, and the guy he was joking with, I guess, wasn't joking, or they might have been joking, and then it stopped, and the guy shot him. Now, some people are like, oh, that's horrible, that's crazy. That's deep. But that person has some capacity where it goes from his level of anger, just can't handle it. Everybody has a different mental capacity to handle different things. Sadly, some people think they can just run off the mouth with certain people, and the other person won't say anything. And then when you say something, or then when you confront them about something, they can't handle it. So you can try to avoid those people as much as you can. Sadly, some people are married to those people. Sadly, some people, that's your mom and dad, or your son or daughter. So you have to find different ways to deal with them in that. So people make the world go round. Different individuals for different things. Why do men love more than two women? Some or most, because not all men. Why do men love more than two women at the same time? Talking about a menage a trois. Weird porn fantasy, weird masculine ego raging. I'm a man, I got two women. What are they doing together? What are you doing? What about me? What about me? So that's the biggest thing I think. I think it's an ego thing. Also, it's funny because we've had that pop up before, questions and talking to people where, this is so funny. I'm getting used to this. Sorry, guys. Questions and talking to people where they're with somebody, and I talked to this couple one time, and they were talking about how he would have his wife, and they bring somebody else in a relationship. My rule of thumb is, whatever you're big and bad enough to bring into your relationship, you have to be big and bad enough to handle the consequences of it. I know men who brought a third party into their relationships, and the wife ended up having a lesbian relationship with that woman. Or all of a sudden you come over there, the person y'all was kicking it with, they in there, ha ha he he, and watching they Netflix and chilling. When you get in, it was like, hey, what's going on? Oh, we just chilling. It was like, oh, okay. You want me to come? Oh, if you feel like it. So how long y'all been here? So times are changing. And also, I've heard women say it's like, it's a threesome, but some women have ideas of threesomes they want a threesome with two men. And then men are like, oh, no, that's not a threesome, that's a train. That's not a train. A train and a threesome are two different things. And it depends what you're talking about. A train is like an old school thing of different guys. It's like a gangbang or stuff like that. I know somebody's like, what is he talking about? If you don't understand, I'm not talking to you. There's another audience that's watching this. But yeah, not all men like that. Not all men want to be with more than one woman. Some men just want the woman they have or the woman they don't have. All right. This was a question that I wanted to get into, and this is when I had to end the show. And you see, we've been on here 20 minutes now, and I'm just talking. This is not my interaction with the audience, so we can rock and roll. Hope this is helping somebody. Don't forget to subscribe to the Relationship Comedy channel. Click the subscribe link. Share this. If you're getting it, make sure you subscribe. And you can email me at troyrawlings@gmail.com. Go to my website, troyrawlingslive.com, and it tells you everything about me. And also, you'll see where my upcoming shows are coming. And Valentine's Day 2020, y'all. My first lovers retreat. Oh, you get a whole weekend. Well, Friday and Saturday have me. Friday night, we're going to have fun, dinner, music, me doing comedy, dancing. And then Saturday, the day party is when we get in. Okay, so to this, more of this. I want my man to stroke my inner vixen. What ideas as a man do you think would bring the vixen to life? As a man. Well, here's the thing. I've heard different scenarios, and I've been doing this tour for 15 years. 90% of my audience have been women. And you have some women that are very vocal about what they want, and you have some that aren't. The ones who usually get what they want are the ones that are vocal about what they want. So you have to find out as well. And hopefully your man is so into you that he doesn't mind exploring with you. But you have to find out if you feel like something inside of you is raging to come forth even the more, or you know that you do some freaky shit when you by yourself, and then when you with your man, you're like, Jesus paid it all, to him I owe. But hey, baby, what you doing? I'm just reading the Bible, baby. Baby, I don't think that's the Bible. That's a book on Kama Sutra. Huh? Oh, I grabbed the wrong book. Oh, somebody gave me, no. Tell your man what's going on. So, the best way to get your man to bring out your inner vixen is start exploring what you like. And especially if you're a Christian, even if you're not a Christian, the Bible is one of the oldest history books about history. But there's a verse in the Bible that says the marriage bed is undefiled. If you're married, this is the opportunity to do all the things that you wanted to do sexually and not feel condemned about that shit. Okay? So I really want to stress to married couples that you need to exhaust everybody, especially if you're having issues in your marriage and your sex numbers. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine, married 17 years, and she says she remembers going years without having sex with her husband. Like a year. Like she remembers because one time the sex was on the anniversary, or the sex was there. Something crazy. Now, when I see things like that, I always ask people, I say, was your sex life always like that? Or is this something new? And for her, she said it was always like that. So I asked the other questions. Is your husband bisexual? Is he gay? Is he asexual? What's the deal? Have you had those questions? My book, and everybody, you can go on and you can get my book right on my website, www.troyrawlingslive.com. You go there and you get my book, Butt Naked Honest, Conversational Foreplay for Dating, Asking the Hard Questions Up Front. I wrote the book just for things like that. It's like anything you want to know, you can ask someone up front and be very open, be very honest. Because when you walk away from that date, and even for people who are married, this is a continual thing. If you're with this person, this is the person you plan on being with for the rest of your life, the rest of your life is a long damn time. Even if you think you're going to be sick and you might die in your 70, shit, I'm 44. I'm going to be 70 for another 26 years. So if I'm with somebody for 26 years, that's a long time to be quiet about something that you like. The person that you're married to is the person you should be able to confide in everything about your uttermost goals in life, your spiritual oneness with God and this person, and the freakiest shit in the world you've been thinking about doing. Why not be open? But if you're just meeting somebody and you want to have a meeting, ask the questions you want to know up front. But get back to this. This is, and I say this is a part of your job because women and women who know can attest to this. There's a book I have. Ordinary Women, Extraordinary Sex. For you, Miss Vixen, this is a great book to read. Ordinary Women, Extraordinary Sex by Dr. Sandra Scantling and Sue Browder. Every Woman's Guide to Pleasure and Beyond. Great book. You know why it's a good book? Because they don't talk about all this freaky, crazy stuff, and they didn't do a test asking women, oh, are you a sexual vixen? Are you horny all the time? How often do you orgasm? No, they went according to a scale that let them know people's pleasure points and how they enjoyed pleasure. Did this person cry during movies? Are they, have you ever had a foodgasm? I ask people that all the time. Have you had a foodgasm? Some people laugh, and some people say, yes, indeed. I get me some good plate of lasagna from Tony's Bella Vista or something. Woo! If you're orgasmic in certain parts in life, you'll be orgasmic in other parts of life. That's what I believe. So, but also as a woman, you control the level of your openness to your man, how orgasmic you are, how comfortable you are. You're a big part of that. So you have to explore certain things. And there's certain things that you like and you like already. And he doesn't know. Let him know. This is a secret game. People are like, oh, well, you'll find out when you're with me. That's cool. That's cool. But once y'all together, if your man ain't doing something you like, I mean, if it's something you can help, and I'll tell you why later because I saw one of the questions and that's something you can't always help. But, okay. Is there a such thing, and I'm trying to rock and roll a little fast because we're coming up on 30 minutes. See how quick time goes? Is there such thing as getting married too late or having kids too late? Absolutely not. If you can still have kids, have them. There are people having kids. There was this mother she was able to have her daughter's child because her daughter didn't carry a child. I think it was on Oprah or something. The mother was 60 and became the surrogate. She could still carry the child. And she had the baby for the daughter and her son-in-law. They have a connection that probably will never die. But even though you're talking about your mother getting your business, she was like, oh, that's my child too. My child too. It's like, mother, shut up. What? You didn't carry her 9 months. It's like, what? Yeah, conversation gets crazy. And there's never, I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all haven't seen people just getting married in their 60s, 70s. I think it's the most beautiful thing in the world. You want to spend the rest of your life with somebody. No, it's never too late. It's never too late. We're the one to put these crazy timestamps on things. It's never too late, especially if you were married before and that wasn't the one. Okay. So my dad married a Trump supporter and doesn't know she has a piece of furniture with a swastika on it. It's a real question. And I was in Fairfax, Virginia, and I think I might know. Well, we had a mixed crowd, obviously, because you probably were like, what black person would have some furniture? No, it's a mixed crowd. So has a piece of furniture with a swastika on it. When should we bring this up? She German, and apparently the getting is good. Look, she has a piece of furniture with a swastika. Now with that face up top, I'm thinking this may be a real question, and it says help. And like you said about older people getting married, what do you have to lose? I'd bring it up. He may know. He may be into it. You need to find out. I would definitely bring it up. If my father or my mother married somebody I didn't agree with, where I come from, I'd probably be like, hey, that was your choice. That's your marriage, you know. I kind of leave it at that. But with something like that, if you think something's going to happen to your father, like you'll come there one day and you can't find your father. He was like, has anybody seen Dad? He was like, we have no Dad around here. I don't know who you are. Please leave my premises. He was like, okay, this bitch crazy. Let's call the police. There are no phones here. Yeah, so you need to figure that out. But yeah, tell him. That's easy. Yes, you just tell him as soon as possible, just to see where he stands on it. If he says no, some people like that crazy ill nah. He's like, yeah, I know she's a part of the right, and she's Heil Hitler and all that, but the sex is good. It's like, what? You know what they say about crazy people. All right. I have a situationship. All right. I got to go in a little bit because I got to take care of some stuff. So I'll maybe do part 1 and part 2. I don't know. Maybe I can rock these out. I don't know. If I have to end it, we'll do a part 2. All right. I have a situationship with a guy and realized early that he is only good for the D. That means dick. He's only good for sex. However, he insists on having a relationship. How do I deal with this situation? Situationship. It's complicated. And this might be a good one to end on since we're a little over the 30-minute mark. Situationship. It's complicated. When you hear stuff like that, it usually means that the people are having sex. They're having sex, but one person is not into it. The other person is not into it. Let me give the 2 main reasons for sex. These are the 2 main reasons I believe sex has. 2 core reasons. 1 is to have children. 2 is to draw 2 people closer together. That's why a lot of times when you're going to counseling, the counselor or therapist may ask, okay, how's your sex life? Because sometimes they can judge, and they've studied. I'm not a licensed therapist or anything like that yet, but they've studied and they know that, we can see a dissension and a pattern for people that get drawn away from each other, pull away, and they stop having sex. Because sex is a tool to help bring you together at least. So if you're having sex with each other, that means you like being around each other and being involved with each other. So the reason that friends with benefits and fuck buddies and all those other names don't work, and sex buddies and all that stuff don't work but for so long, because God, the creator, made sex so wonderful, for one, like the comedian Franklin Josh said, that this earth would never be unpopulated. There's always going to be children on this earth. 2 is to draw 2 people closer together. So if you're having sex on a regular basis, and it's obviously good because you said he's good for the D, he's good for the dick. So if that's the case, then I don't know why I keep putting these in there like I can hear you, like I'm waiting for. It's a conversation, so you got to email me back, and then I'll find out if this works better like this, or if I can still hear like this, then it's all good. So if he's good for the D, and you keep having sex with him, his feelings and emotions are going to continue to get stronger. Or it's a dangerous game to play. Or you can get to the point where his feelings start going into a mode where it's just for sex, so when I need to get off, I get off. And your feelings all of a sudden start increasing. So his feelings will be dropping, yours increasing, and then when you're ready to say, I'm yours, he's like, man, fuck. So be careful. All right. That was 33 minutes. I'm going to give you a taste. Hit me up with any questions. I still have some more questions, but it's going to be another 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So I'm going to send this one out there. Share it with your people. Hopefully, if you were in Fairfax, hopefully I got to one of your questions. I'm going to also share this link with the 2 Stylish and Entertainment folks who were at the show. And if you have any more questions, email me at troyrawlings@gmail.com, RAWLINGS, and I'll put them in the YouTube link below, so you'll have it. So troyrawlings@gmail.com, or just go to www.troyrawlingslive.com, and you can Google me and find me anywhere on social media, Instagram. You can DM me questions, whatever you want to do. I'm here for you. God bless. One love. Talk to you in a bit. If you're in Los Angeles, our next show is coming up September 1st at Bricks Lounge and Cafe in Inglewood. It's going to be amazing. Then after that, I believe we'll be back in the DMV for a big show at Arundel Mills. I think the week before Thanksgiving. So the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I'll keep you posted on that. Peace. God bless. One love. TroyRawlingsLive.com. Check me out. And subscribe right here to Relationship Comedy. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.